Hello and a very warm welcome on today's Page 1. I am Nancy Bora and I am joined by my colleague and co-host Adrika Sharma. So what we essentially do on the show is that we go around all the stories, all the news that are making the headlines in the newspaper, top headlines in the newspaper. We are going to go through various newspapers and show you how they are covering it. And we have a list prepared, which Adrika and I graciously prepared a list that we are going to go through. But before that, we have a latest update coming in from Delhi. Raids are underway by the Enforcement Directorate at Aam Aadmi Party leader and Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh's residence in Delhi. The raids are said to be with the connection with the liquor policy scam for which Sanjay Singh's aides were searched by ED earlier this year. Sanjay Singh's party colleague and former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia is lodged in jail in connection with the same liquor policy scam. The former Delhi Deputy CM and Excise Minister was first arrested by the CBI on February 26 for his alleged role in the scam. He resigned from the Delhi cabinet on February 28. ED later arrested the AAP leader on March 9 from Tihar jail, where he is currently lodged in judicial custody. In its nearly 270-page supplementary charge sheet, which has annexures running into 2,000 pages, the ED has called Sisodia a key conspirator in the case. And the latest update that we have right now, that you can see the visuals coming in from Sanjay Singh's residence, where ED has raided his house, and according to the sources, we are right now, the details are yet to come, but right now we know that this raid is in connection with the liquor policy scam that has been going on for the longest of time. Adrika, how do you see this development? Is it the new BJP move in the liquor scam? Are they trying to, ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, what is this move by the BJP?
I think I really have one strong thing to say. Are we surprised?
No.
We know every single move that every party which is trying to make a statement is basically a run-up to what the elections are going to look like. We did understand how foul it looked when the entire case around Manish Sisodia was framed, and then we had Sanjay Singh, kind of launching fiery arguments that BJP should apologize, and we know Sanjay Singh's reputation also comes in handy.
Yeah.
And Sanjay Singh's, his reputation also comes in handy when it comes to, launching fiery statements and arguments against the BJP. And now we have this new development, as per the reports that we are getting, that there is another probe against Sanjay Singh for the same excise policy. I mean, anyone who understands even the little bit of politics can connect the dots and understand what is actually going on here. But I think, yes, we shall await for all the details before coming to a conclusion.
Yeah.
But I really think every statement, every move done by both the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, given that their rivalry is more than what meets the eye. So yeah, I think that we should wait for the details, but we know we can connect the dots here.
Well, the moment we saw, this latest update coming in that the ED has raided Sanjay Singh's house. I mean, when we talk about this liquor scam policy, it has been going on for so long now.
Exactly.
And, Manish Sisodia, he was the deputy CM. He got arrested. He is in jail. He is in judicial custody right now. And the way, he has come out and he has said again and again that this is BJP, they're trying to bully us.
BJP is a bully, standing tall with that remark.
Yeah, and that is what he said. So how is it, like, how, AAP is going to fight against this, because this scam has been going on for so long now, and we have seen that even the ED has come up, the investigation has been going on, the conclusion has, they have framed Manish Sisodia as the key conspirator in the scam. So how is it going to pan out for Aam Aadmi Party? Something that we'll have to wait and see, because the raid is there, ED is at Sanjay Singh's residence. What are they going to find out? What are they going to do? Because Sanjay Singh is also a very tall leader in Aam Aadmi Party. So what it holds for Sanjay Singh, what it holds for Aam Aadmi Party, and how is it going to benefit the BJP, and how is it going to change the dynamics of the national as well as Delhi politics, is something that we'll have to wait and watch and see that how everything is going to pan out, because we still are waiting for further details on what. But the latest that we have is that Sanjay Singh's residence was raided by the ED, and the raids are said to be in the connection with the liquor policy scam for which Sanjay Singh's aides were searched by the ED earlier this year as well. And Sanjay Singh's party and colleague, former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, is also lodged in jail in connection with the same liquor policy scam. So AAP is is in the middle, and BJP is
in the hot
attacking it.
waters.
Well, yeah, it's in hot waters. One you can see.
And to be honest, Nancy, I think Aam Aadmi Party in its nature has certain tall leaders, and I think I don't think it's correct to say that Aam Aadmi Party is completely a cadre-based party. That it's a cadre-based party, not exactly, but still we have certain faces that kind of frames the entire narrative, or that kind of creates the environment for Aam Aadmi Party to set their own foot forward. And given the fact that I've been constantly saying this, the rivalry between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP is more than what meets the eye, is because again you have New Delhi, the center, which is disputed, and time and again the BJP wants to assert it in some way or the other that New Delhi, even if we are not, even if we are not in power directly, what we can do. But then Aam Aadmi Party also time and again turns it into a point that if we could not win a lot of majority across the country, we have New Delhi. So, given the fact that we had Manish Sisodia face the same thing, and now we have Sanjay Singh also facing the same probe, but I think the difference will be that Sanjay Singh is not going to hold it back.
But do you think, is there, when we talk about this liquor policy scam, do you think there is Aam Aadmi Party is really responsible, or is just, we can say that, BJP is going out, the raids, the ED scams that we, the ED raids that we see, ministers are being arrested, Aam Aadmi Party is claiming that they are being harassed by the ED, that they are coming in, they are probing, they are searching our house without any, evidence. But do you think that is this all a BJP's move, right? Is this is a BJP move, or is it something that meets, or there is something that meets more to the eye? I mean, is there something bigger picture here that AAP was actually involved in the liquor policy scam, because now the Manish Sisodia is the key conspirator in the whole scam. So what is it going to be? How is it going to pan out? But the way Aam Aadmi Party is constantly blaming BJP that they are being the bully, they are coming, they are the one who are complaining against her, they are the one who are giving ED the leads that go raid this house, raid that house. So this kind of things, this kind of political rifts, it deepens the divide, and we have elections coming in just 9 months now.
Definitely.
So the countdown has begun. But when you see your tall leaders' residence being raided like that, I mean, that is something that is so scary that AAP is really in hot waters right now. I mean, how are they going to cover this up? How are they going to move on with this? Is something that we'll have to wait and watch. But the rift between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, I think it's something going to deepen further.
Yeah, I think what I want to understand here is that as much as everyone likes to call it that BJP is a bully, and it kinds of, if quote unquote kind of throws around ED cases at everyone and is kind of acting like a bully, but it is also easier on the other side. It is also easier on the other side to kind of point fingers to BJP and say that they are being a bully. Now, talking about the nature of the probe that is being launched, probes which are related to excise policies, or probes which are related to non-withdrawal of liquor policies, they also kind of undertake a lot of technical analysis to it. So if you're telling me that 2 AAP leaders back to back have been accused of similar wrongdoings, it is very hard for me to believe as a journalist that there's nothing of substance here. There's nothing substantial here. I'm not siding either of the sides, but yes, it could be a political move, but I feel it is absolutely, it is 100% not one, There could be some truth in it. Definitely, politics is generally all about exaggeration and how you turn the narrative, and we know for a fact that both the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Aam Aadmi Party have always stood their ground strong into, twisting the narrative in a certain way that works in their favor. We are not surprised. So I think, given the nature of this probe, which, incurs a lot of technical analysis, so I think we will have to wait and watch. But yeah, I don't think it's a complete political move. I think it has some substance to it.
Yeah, well, the latest that we have on the case is that the ED team reached Sanjay Singh's house after two accused turned government witnesses in the Delhi excise policy case. Accused Raghav Magunta became government witness in the money laundering case. Raghav Magunta is the son of YSR Congress MP Magunta Srinivasulu Reddy. The court had also allowed Dinesh Arora to become a government witness. So those who too were accused in the money laundering scam have turned into government witnesses, and they, the reports are saying that they were the ones who, who were the whistleblowers who said that, after they gave some witness, they were the one who gave evidence to the ED that they should go and raid Sanjay Singh's out. Here the latest updates. Adrika, what do you have latest on the case?
I think more than latest, we should also, kind of look at this very interesting development which Nancy also mentioned. But for the benefits of the viewers, I really want to put in forward that Sanjay Singh's staff members and those who were linked to him earlier were also questioned. So, I am not surprised if Sanjay Singh kind of, he comes out and makes a bold statement, because I know he saw this coming. And for those who do not know how the whereabouts or the semantics of the Delhi excise policy work around, it is alleged that the Delhi government's excise policy for 2021-2022 to grant license to liquor traders allowed cartelization and favored certain dealers who had allegedly paid bribes for it, and charge strongly refuted by the AAP. So AAP refuted it earlier, and now I think they're going to refute it again.
Well, after this scam, I think we just have to wait and watch and see what is going to happen. Are AAP and BJP, how are they going to, deal with this situation? The rift is obviously going to get deepened. Exactly. But how is AAP is going to, move on from this and cover up and compensate for this just ahead of the elections is something that we'll have to wait and watch and see.
Interesting.
But before that, Adrika, PM Modi was in Chhattisgarh yesterday. And we were just talking about Bihar census report and how it was making the headlines. And I think yesterday only I was talking, and one of them said that this is going to be the biggest story in the week, this Bihar caste census report, because for the opposition, it is one of the, what should I say, the ace of
the Brahmastra.
The Brahmastra, yeah, correctly said that, the Brahmastra, because census is something that, caste census is something that is, I think, is a spot nerve for the BJP, is a soft nerve for the BJP. So, the Bihar caste census came out, and there were debates going around it, and the opposition, they became very strong with it. Nitish Kumar was back in the game, and he was like, yes, we will be asking for this for so long, and now the data reveals that what we were asking for so long was actually correct. In 1992, the scam has been going on that we need to exceed the limit, we need to extend the limit of the 50% reservation quota that you have per state, and BJP was not allowing that. And BJP has always been, the strong defender. They have came out and they've said that this is merely an eyewash. Stop trying to, paint a picture here. You are not including all the castes, so this data is not actually factually correct. So, but PM Modi, he was in Chhattisgarh, and he is saying that the Congress is trying to divide Hindus. I'm just going to read out how the Times of India has been covering it. It's saying that Modi is saying that Congress is trying to divide Hindus, deprive minorities. He said that since yesterday, Congress has started chanting Jitni Abda Utna Hak. This will cause grave injustice to the southern state, which have controlled population growth. It means Congress wants to reduce the number of seats in parliament from southern state. Corrupt leaders don't have the guts to sit beside me when Telangana CM K. Chandrasekhar Rao sought to join NDA. I clearly told him that I know your government's irregularities. I cannot allow you to be in NDA. So, Modi ji was on fire yesterday. In the rally, he just came out, he valiantly, attacked, he said on the caste census as well, that you are trying to create a divide in the society by saying that, they need reservation, you are being unfair to them, you are discriminating them. He was in Chhattisgarh. He said that PM Narendra Modi on Tuesday attacked Rahul Gandhi's new plan for caste-based census and said it was a ploy to divide Hindu society at the instance of hostile foreign powers who were active behind the scenes and were operating through their handles. The Congress has been outsourced. The party, being hand in glove with anti-India forces, is trying to divide Hindu society and wants to destroy the country. The Congress wants to divide the poor of the country, says the PM at the rally at Jagdalpur in Chhattisgarh, Bastar region. So, how do you see it, Adrika? I mean, Modi has come out, and what are other newspapers saying about, PM Modi's strong comeback on the caste census?
Strong comeback for what has been very, very openly disputed and debated within the, within all the parties that, try to make a statement. I really want to bring and shed light upon what Narendra Modi really said, and I'm going to quote the Indian Express, without mentioning Bihar caste survey or Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. So important, he did not even mention Rahul Gandhi's name. But he goes, Prime Minister Modi says, the Congress began to chant a new slogan today. Congress के नेता कहते हैं जितनी आबादी उतना हक. मैं कहता हूँ अगर इस देश में सबसे बड़ी कोई आबादी है तो वो आबादी गरीब है और गरीब का कल्याण यही मेरा मकसद है. So we see how beautifully Prime Minister has, kind of again twisted the strong argument that the opposition might have framed around him. And we also need to understand that the allegations against the BJP has always been along the lines of that BJP is a party which is, motivated by profiting the majority, which right now stands the Hindus, and it is regarded as a party which is very biased towards its majority. So now again Narendra Modi has used this claim so beautifully that you are telling me, you accuse me of the fact that I do majoritarian politics by favoring the majority that are the Hindus for India, and now you are telling me you will only do welfare on the basis of what the numbers tell you in terms of population. So what does that say about you? What does that say about the opposition? That you are the one running behind numbers. I want to favor the poor, I want to favor the have-nots, but I guess you are not. We are not on the same page.
Yeah, well, that was the Modi ka magic that we were talking about.
Course.
Like after G20, we were just talking about how he has changed India's global image, how he has come up, with such strong points and everything. I was just reading about it, but one thing that we are obviously, the way Modi came out and he has attacked the opposition and he slammed their like, you stop dividing or creating a divide in the society by saying that you want to give reservation to the caste, you are creating two sides in the society. All of that is fine, but we have to understand that just ahead of the elections, I think when the Women's Reservation Bill came in, my first thought was that they are going to come up with this caste census. This is going to be the biggest agenda. This is going to be one of the agenda for the opposition bloc, especially the India bloc, because in the Women's Reservation Bill also they were very clear about that we need caste census. You need to include the OBC because the OBC there is no quota for OBC women in the Women's Reservation Bill. So when this came up, I knew that it was going to escalate. But with the Bihar caste census report, I think it's a game changer for Nitish Kumar as well, because he has woven his politics around caste census for the longest of time. Caste has been a very important element of his politics, and especially when you're dealing with a state like Bihar, I think it's very important. I'm just going to read out what the Times of India is saying, that BJP alleges irregularities, but Nitish backs the survey. Obviously, he's going to back the survey because it's going to benefit him. That is what his party RJD and the Mandal parties that we call RJD and JDU, they've been asking for the longest of time. It's saying that the opposition BJP alleged on Tuesday that there were large-scale irregularities in the data collection process for the Bihar caste census head count, while its ally, Lok Janshakti Party, Ram Vilas, urged the state government to conduct a fresh survey, casting doubt over the finding released on a day earlier by the Bihar government. Participating in a meeting of 9 leading parties convened by the CM Nitish Kumar on Tuesday, leader of the opposition Vijay Kumar Sinha questioned why the state was not releasing the report on the economic status of different castes. At the meet, Nitish dismissed the allegations labelled by opposition leaders and said that the survey was conducted in the right manner. So Nitish Kumar is continuously, backing the whole caste census survey, because it's a very important element of his politics. So he has gone out. He's saying that this caste census report is very important. It is conducted in the right manner. Since 1992, we have been asking that this kind of reservation, this 50% limit has to, go ahead. It has to get exceeded. So that is something, very interesting, that how Nitish Kumar is coming back in the game because of this caste census report, I would say.
And I also, really want to bring light upon this particular thing that Narendra Modi said. We know for the longest time that every party has its favorite allegation to kind of stamp on the other party. And Congress has for a long while been facing allegations that Congress was always involved in appeasement politics, and they try to appease the minorities, and they have also been behaving in this ways because they do not really want to roll out schemes and do welfare for the minorities, but they only see them as vote banks, and it's mere appeasement. So Narendra Modi really came out and he said, I wonder what former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji must be thinking. He used to say the minorities and Muslims, even among the minorities, had the first right on nation's resources. And now the Congress is saying that jitni abadi utna hak. So I think, of course, what you're saying, that it will be a game changer for Nitish, and how he has woven his entire politics around the caste census, and now that it has finally come out with its results that kind of look really convincing. But then again, the BJP is known for kind of spotting the most weakest point and striking there. So you never know, like they always say, BJP is known for making the opposition leaders campaign for BJP.
Definitely.
That's what they have been doing.
Yeah, that's exactly, correctly pointing it out. But before we move on, let's just actually listen into what Narendra Modi said in the rally yesterday. So let's listen in to how he attacked the opposition.
कल से कांग्रेस ने एक अलग लाप आरापना शुरू कर दिया है। ये कांग्रेस के नेता कहते हैं, जितनी आबादी उतना हक। मैं कहता हूं, इस देश में अगर सबसे बड़ी कोई आबादी है तो वो आबादी गरीब है, और इसलिए मेरे लिए गरीब ही सबसे बड़ी आबादी है, और गरीब का कल्याण यही मेरा मकसद है। मैं सोच रहा था कि पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी क्या सोच रहे होंगे। भारत के पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री मनमोहन सिंह जी तो कहा करते थे कि देश के संसाधनों पर पहला हक माइनॉरिटी का है, अल्पसंख्यकों का है, और उसमें भी मुसलमानों का है। अब कांग्रेस कह रही है कि आबादी तय करेगी कि पहला हक किसका होगा। यानी क्या अब अल्पसंख्यकों का हक कांग्रेस कम करना चाहती है क्या? और आबादी के ही हिसाब से ही अब तय होने वाला है, तो पहला हक किसका होगा भाई? किसका होगा? आबादी किसकी ज्यादा है? किसका हक होगा? जरा कांग्रेस वाले स्पष्टता करें, क्या आबादी के हिसाब से हक मिलेगा क्या? तो क्या अल्पसंख्यकों को कांग्रेस हटाना चाहती है क्या?
Well, that was Modi ji, but let's now shift our focus to international politics. The India-Canada diplomatic war that has been going on for the longest of time now. And the latest development that we had was when India attacked and retaliated, and it has asked 40 diplomatic staff of Canada to leave the country, and they have been asking this for the longest time, but I think the diplomatic row really escalated that. But now, after that move, I think Canada got scared a little bit. They were like, no, this cannot be happening, and they really was like, this is not the India that we should be messing with. And they have now seeking private talks with India. Yeah, after it has recalled, first it was credible allegations, and now they want to discuss those credible allegations while having private talks with India. I'm just going to read out what the Times of India is saying about it. They're saying that Canada is likely to recall dozens of diplomats after India asked Ottawa to ensure parity in diplomatic presence in the two countries. India's call for downsizing followed the spat over the Khalistani killing of pro-Khalistan leader in Vancouver area, and the allegations by Canadian PM Justin Trudeau that India may have had a role in it. While both sides did not comment on the number of diplomats India wanted out, a report in Financial Times came out. They have, they said that India, till yesterday it was that they are asking 40 diplomats. Now we don't have the clear number, but the Financial financial report, the Financial Times is saying that India had asked Canada to recall their diplomatic staff. So they wanted to, they are aiming for diplomatic parity because they have 62 or 68 diplomatic staff right now in India, and they wanted to reduce this number to 41. So now they have gone out, and now they are saying that, you need to just come out. But responding to that, Canadian PM Justin Trudeau on Tuesday said that he was not looking to escalate the situation and his government will continue to have constructive relations with Delhi. Obviously, we are going through an extremely challenging time with India right now. So now he made those allegations of credible allegation. Then he again came in the White House, House of Commons, and he said that we don't want to provoke India, we don't want to escalate the situation. Then India, retaliated again. Then you went out and you were saying, no, we have credible allegations, we are investigating into it. Then the US came in. Then we had this whole new angle that the US intel was helping Canada and all of that. And then, India attacked again. India said that please recall all your diplomatic staff. And now again, you can see Justin Trudeau, he has toned it down. He's saying that, guys, we don't want to, hamper the relations we have. We understand that the gravity of the situation, and we don't want to escalate it any further. How do you see this, Adrika?
One thing about the West is that they try to rule and dominate by being a normative power. So they want to set narratives. And Canada has been trying and struggling so hard to set a narrative against India. But I think now India is in such a position that we do not abide by and sit by a narrative that has been created for us by other leaders, right, by other global powers, because India is clearly emerging as one and every other nation can see it. I really want to read what the Indian Express has, the Indian Express really brings to our viewers for this particular development. It is important to note that India has about 20 diplomats in Canada, while Canada has 3 times more than Indian presence, about 60 diplomats. That's what the sources have been saying, right? They said that the principle of reciprocity is being invoked here, and Delhi wants the diplomatic strength to be equal in both the countries. 3 days after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's allegations of a potential Indian government link to the killing of Khalistan separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, India has rejected the allegations as absurd and motivated, quote unquote. I don't even think we require a quote here.
Definitely.
Within the absurd and motivated is because it clearly looks like that. And then again, like I said, India has its own stand now. We are not going to sit down and follow the narrative that the West has created for us. And to that surprise, the External Affairs official spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said on September 21 on the matter that we have informed the Canadian government that there should be parity in strength and rank equivalence in mutual diplomatic presence. Their numbers here are very much and higher than ours in Canada. The details of this are being worked out, but I assume there will be reduction. So I think India is already striving for parity. India is already striving for what, India is already striving for parity and equality. You cannot be, whimsically, running around making claims. One time you call India out and say that you've kind of disrupted, you've disrupted the peace in our society, and, the order has been disturbed. And then you do not wish to escalate the situation.
Yeah.
The situation has already been escalated.
Definitely.
And I think the global politics is firstly about the narratives, and it is also about the timing. I really think any country which wants to, launch jibes at India right now is not the correct and the substantial time. It's because India hosted G20 just now. It was a success. Back to back, we've been coming out at the global front trying to assert our dominance, which was already there, but now we are claiming it. So I think Canada just looks confused to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this war will go on for a long period of time because, as you correctly said, that this matter has already been escalated.
Yeah.
So no matter what Justin Trudeau says, the matter has been escalated. So now coming back and shifting our focus to domestic politics, what has been going on. NewsClick founder has been arrested under the UAPA Act. I'm just going to read out. It's in the the front page of the Hindu. It says that the Delhi police searched homes and office of journalists on the news portal and questioned them in alleged terror case. They have seized their phones and laptops. It says that the Delhi police on Tuesday arrested Prabir Purkayastha, founder and editor-in-chief of news portal NewsClick, and its human resource head Amit Chakrabarti in an alleged terror case. Deputy Commissioner of Police PRO Suman Nalva said that a total of 46 suspects, including 9 women, were questioned and their phones, laptops and devices seized for further examination. She added that proceedings were on and 2 persons had been arrested thus far. Police raided the homes and office of journalists, authors, academics, contributors and satirists as associated with the news portal in a terrorism case. The journalism were asked questions about the Delhi communal rights and the CA agitation of 2019 to 20, the farmer protest of 2021, and whether they used encrypted messaging applications such as Signals on their phones. So just yesterday we were talking about how the ED has raided the NewsClick. They went out and they raided homes of few journalists. We did not have much information about what is going on, how is it happening, but we all had that they are being accused of promoting Chinese propaganda. And when we were talking about this NewsClick, they have been in the headlines many times before. When the New York Times report came out and it says that the NewsClick is getting funding from US billionaire and how he was Neville Singh Ambro, and how he was in relation with the Chinese government media, and how they are promoting a Chinese propaganda here. And cut to that, we have the ED probing houses of journalists, and now the founder has been arrested under the UAPA Act. I mean, how is the Times of India covering the story, and how do you see the story? I mean, what is the road ahead for NewsClick?
NewsClick has, as likely what you said, that NewsClick has for long made headlines. But these days we've been seeing the front page and the front column occupied by NewsClick all over the newspapers, and the Times of India explains it in a way that the cops are probing allegations against the portal that it received funding illegally from China and disseminated the Chinese propaganda. Some of its employees and consultants are also on the radar. So firstly, we knew that, Nivelle Roy Singham, he was the one, who was blatantly and frontally accused. But now we also know that there are other, employees and staff, of course, attached to the firm that are on the radar, right? The raids were conducted in connection with an FIR filed under the stringent UAPA and the sections of IPC. We know that UAPA can, turn the entire game around. UAPA is a very strict allegation, right? Whenever any firm or an individual faces UAPA, we know it's going to be a strict probe, and we know it's not going to go down that easy. The portal's office in South Delhi was sealed by police, and 46 people, including journalists linked to the portal, were questioned through Tuesday. What I really want to point out here is that given today's time, anytime there is, an allegation or probe against an organization that involves journalists and media for that matter, it receives a lot of backlash. Nancy, today I was checking Twitter and I could see NewsClick trending all over, and then I saw certain tweets by esteemed organization. I saw Press Trust of India tweeting that that we really request the ED to, kind of follow all the procedures to probe the journalists, and we are the fourth pillar of the democracy, and media should not be treated like that. So definitely there are two angles to it. How the press and the media is going to react to it. They might think that this entire probe is very unjustified. They might think that again the BJP is trying to, the center is trying to come out as a bully, and then the ED is being more strict than it should have been. But then we also have proof in form of the FIR, and the probe is justified. So we don't know. We will closely track this story for you guys here. And yes, I think it's time to move on to another great development.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this will go on because we talked about journalists and how the NewsClick has been going on. I mean, the founder is arrested right now, and what will happen again? It's a developing story. We are waiting for the development. We are waiting for latest development on the news. But an interesting news that made headlines was that Shivaji's tiger claw is returning to India. And I'm just going to read out quickly for the viewers that what is happening, how is it returning. It's returning on loan. I'll just give you all the details. It says that an iconic tiger claw or Vag Nak that we say, a weapon that was reportedly belonged to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, is said to return home centuries after Shivaji is said to have fought a consequential war with the weapon. The Vag Nak will return to India for the first time after East India Company took it to England in the 1820s during British colonial conquest on Indian subcontinent. But the tiger claw is returning, the Vag Nak that we are talking about is returning to India on loan. The tiger claw is scheduled to make its return to Indian state of Maharashtra from London in November 2023. Coinciding with the 35th anniversary of Shivaji's coronation, it will be brought from London's Victoria and Albert Museum on loan for a 3-year exhibition in South Mumbai. So, it's, you know, something is better than nothing. We are getting, you know, one of the
pieces of history.
The pieces of history, yes, correctly. And, you know, it is coming to home for just 3 years, but it's still coming. It's a big, you know, achievement still. Sudhir Mungatwar, the Cultural Minister of Maharashtra, will travel to London on Tuesday to formalize an agreement with the museum for the reputation of this historic weapon. It is expected that the Vag Nak will find its home at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum in South Mumbai. So, you know, we are getting a piece of history back to home, and it's going to be on loan for 3 years. But still, you know, something is better than nothing. How do you see this development?
I mean, Nancy, we know this particular set has long drawn interest. And, you know, of course, this is the moment of celebration for, you know, all of us and, of course, the Marathas, right? So, all of us, for those who don't know, the history actually dates back to 19th century by the owner of that time, which claims that they are the same as tiger claws used by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj during Maratha leaders' historic battle and triumph over Afzal Khan in 1659. So I mean, it really amuses me the fact that, you know, we used to sit down and read about these clause in our history books, and now now we are, you know, kind of reading the developments that it is coming back home, even though for a short amount of time, but at least it is coming back home. And the signing on the agreement on Tuesday is the first step in the process, which, following a formal loan agreement being finalized later this year, will enable the tiger claws to travel multiple destinations across India to feature the events planned next year to mark 350th anniversary of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Well, we have a quick reaction coming in from Sudhir Mungatwar, the Cultural Minister of Maharashtra. Let's listen in to what he has to say on this historic return of you know, Shivaji's tiger claw.
ऐसा है कि भारत देश में छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज ये हमारे लिए भगवान का अवतार नहीं होंगे, मगर भगवान से कम नहीं। जब भी क्रूर कर्माओं की क्रूरता बढ़ जाती है तो भगवान अवतार लेता है या भगवान छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को भेज देता है। हमारे देश में भी क्रूरता की सीमा लांघ दी गई थी। औरंगजेब ये खुद को गाजी समझता था, आलमगीर समझता था, और क्रूरता के बारे में जिसने अपने बाप को जेल में डाल दिया, भाई का सर कटवा दिया और सर कटवा के थाली में परोसकर अपने पिता को भेज दिया, ऐसा पापी, दुराचारी, अत्याचारी, क्रूर करना। ऐसे समय जब क्रूरता बढ़ जाती है, एक तो भगवान अवतार लेता है या छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को वो पृथ्वी पे उतार देता है।
Well, we can just wait that, you know, an important piece of history is coming back to India. It's whether it's coming on loan, whether it's coming for 3 days, that's a debate that is obviously going to happen, because I was just reading few articles. Our leaders are already coming out and they're saying that what will you do, it's an insult and all of that. But this will go on forever, but we still have to be, you know, after colonization, it's important that, you know, part of our history, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his achievements, and his battle, the weapon that he fought, lots of battle for the country, is coming back home just for 3 years, but still something is better than nothing.
We can always cherish
We can always cherish. But now, moving on, we have a story that will, that is a bit disheartening to, cover. An unfortunate accident happened in Satna, Madhya Pradesh, Satna, and I'm just going to read out what happened exactly. Several people fear trapped after a building collapsed in Satna town of Madhya Pradesh around Tuesday night, an official said. Rescue operations have been going on. It was a 3-storied building and it collapsed in Satna. The building is located in the Bihari Chowk of the Satna district, and addressing that the rescue operation has already been launched. More details are yet to come. I mean, how many people are trapped inside? What was the actual reason that this building collapsed? Because it's a 3-story building, Adrika, and a lot of people are inside it. Rescue operation has been going on. They are going and they are helping the people who were residing in the building and who became a victim of this whole accident.
You know, we also have certain updates coming in about, the Satna MLA, Siddharth Kushwaha, arrived at the spot following the collapse and interacted with the media. Quoting the reports and the interviews that Satna MLA gave, he says, as per the information we have received, some renovation work was going on, and amid that, this building collapsed. It is not clear how many are trapped inside. Rescue operations are underway. This is what the Hindustan Times reported, and further details are awaited into the matter. So, matters like these have been, surfacing a lot. We also tracked the story earlier, I think back around 27 or 28 September, a man and a 2-month-old girl died when the floor of a basement of an under construction building collapsed in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. So, I think...
I mean, who is to blame, Adrika? I mean, we talk about incidents like this. Who are we going to hold accountable for? Who is going to compensate for the lives that get lost in accidents like this? Because this is a clear failure of the administration of the authorities. I mean, first you'll go to the builder who made the building, who was doing the renovation work, then you'll go to the architecture, then you'll go to the government who passed the order. I mean, this will go on and on, but think about people who lost their lives. I mean, they were just, some renovation work was going on. You're sitting in your home and suddenly the 3-story building, it collapses. I mean, we still don't know. I hope there are no casualties. We don't have any details right now. I mean, how many people have lost life. So I think that is something that, we have to wait and watch and see. But let's quickly move on to another story that was, that is also something that important I think we should cover, is that US House Speaker Kevin McCarthy has been ousted by his own party. I mean, in a historic, move that we see, because, the moment I saw the news, I was like, he has been ousted by his own party. I'm just, I was reading about it. I just quickly read out what has exactly happened for the viewers. It says that for the first time in its 234-year history, the House backed a resolution to vacate the office of the Speaker with a 260 to 210 vote, setting the stage for an unprecedented contest to replace McCarthy a year before the presidential election. So, a big blow to Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy was axed Tuesday as Speaker of the US House of Representatives in a brutal historic rebellion by far-right Republicans, his own party, furious at his cooperation with the Democrats. So he has been accused that why are you cooperating with the other party, so we are removing you.
And the move to kind of oust McCarthy began after the California Republicans relied on Democrats to avert a government shutdown, right? And I also read a lot of reports that kind of said that if McCarthy is not going to stand his ground strong, I am going to take that step for him. I don't actually recall which politician was it that said that, but I think it's more than unfortunate. It also, comes out as, humorous to me that by the own party a speaker has been removed, and as all of us know that in the US politics being a speaker is a big deal. So kind of framing the argument around that also makes it an interesting development. And all Democrats present and in Republicans supported the measure in a 216 to 210 vote share that followed an hour of floor debate, during which hard right Republicans rallied against their own leader.
So I mean, that was a big blow for Kevin McCarthy, and by his own party. I mean, that is something very shocking to us. We'll wait and watch what happens next, who is going to fill in that position.
Good luck to McCarthy, I guess.
Yeah, good luck to McCarthy. And now moving on, we have another, heartbreaking incident coming in from Venice. 21 people, including 2 children, have died after a bus crashed on a flyover near the Italian city of Venice City and caught fire. I'm just going to read out what happened exactly. The bus broke through a barrier and plunged near railway tracks in the district of Mestre, which is connected to Venice by a bridge. Among the dead are 5 Ukrainians, 1 German and the Italian driver, City Perfect Michel De Bari said. Venice Mayor Luigi Brunaro said that huge tragedy had taken place. An apocalyptic scene, there are no words, he says on social media. I mean, 21 people are dead, 2 among them were children. The bus is thought to have been rented to take tourists between Venice and a campsite in the nearby Marghera district.
And some reports also say that the bus was powered by methane gas and fell onto the power lines and caught fire. Interior ministers have also said that there could be a rise to the death toll. The cause of the crash is of course yet unknown, and rescue workers are continuing to work on the scene. As per reports that sit at past 4 hours right now, at least 18 people are known to have been injured and 5 of them very seriously. So yes, we do not know the exact death toll right now, but we can only closely track the story.
I mean, how whenever the accidents like these happens, I mean, who is to blame is something that is something that we don't know how is going to compensate the lives. But that is all the time we have for you on the show today. I hope that we covered all the stories, but stay tuned for latest update, man. We have a lot of shows lined up for you guys, so stay tuned and keep watching News9 Live.
GPT. It can generate codes and human-like responses through text, write stories, and do a lot more.
I work in a newsroom with anchors, researchers and scriptwriters, graphic artists, producers, video editors, camera crew. But does a newsroom really need them today?
All of us have to think about unique and distinctive value addition that cannot be automated or repeated or replaced by a machine.
ChatGPT may kill many companies.
A human has to be in the loop with an ability to control this.
Dark Side of the Boom. Streaming now.
Telling stories is in our nature, but the way we say them has changed. Storytelling is an art going on since inception.
If you engage with people, if you tell stories well, if you make history interesting, if you make your novels thrilling, if you write beautifully, you will get an audience.
Some writers find inspiration in tragedy.
I'm looking at grim things about Sri Lanka, but also with the absurdity, you can see the funny side and at least use some black humor to...
While others believe in drama.
I believe in plot, and I believe in suspense, and I believe in, making the reader, giving the reader a reason to turn the page.
Then there are those wordsmiths who leave it to the Almighty.
I believe it's the blessings of Lord Shiva. I think that's why I received this success.
This is the story of storytelling.
From reading classic novels like Hemingway's Old Man and the Sea to seeing a story on Instagram, the consumption of storytelling has come a long way. Recently, a myth about the death of reading began doing the rounds. Books were dying. It became stronger when the use of gadgets spiked during the pandemic. Attention spans were shrinking, declared the cynics. Books or authors won't find any takers, they said. The Jaipur Literature Festival 2023 proved otherwise. A select club of literary superstars has defied all doomsday predictions. How do they manage to stay popular with purists and also make the Netflix generation turn the page?
What I have tried to find are stories which are grounded in our history, in our culture, in our thought process, in our sensibilities. I think that is a critical element of a good storyteller, that you should have enough incentive to turn the page. I try and balance out the 3 E's across my stories. So 70% entertain, 20% educate, 10% enlighten.
Writing any story is a form of detective work. You're trying to understand your characters. It's not enough to have your characters do things. We want to believe why. And if you're a good detective, you find out why and you find out how. And for me, you know, characters show up in my mind. I don't know why they're there. I don't know how they got in the room. I don't know why they won't leave. And that doesn't happen. The novel doesn't happen until I do that detective work and figure them out.
I write from the point of view of a narrator. So once I find the narrative voice, I go, and I guess I've selected 2 humorous guys. The first one was a drunk sports journalist who was at the end of his life, but looking back, not with bitterness, with a bit of bitterness, but also with a great deal of humor and looking at the absurdity of the Sri Lankan situation. And I think similar with Mali Almeida. This was someone who was putting himself on the line, in danger, in the war zone, but also saw, again, the absurdity. And I think that's the common thread that I look at.
Look, one can give a lot of logical reasons for this, that, maybe the stories are nice, maybe the philosophies I speak of are relevant to the India of the modern age, where we are rediscovering ourselves after centuries of decline. Maybe the marketing is good. We can have a lot of logical sounding reasons, or you can listen to what I believe is the truth. People may laugh at it, I don't care. I believe it's the blessings of Lord Shiva. I think that's why I received this success.
Among the 500,000 book lovers who turned up at the Jaipur Lit Fest 2023 were thousands of young readers. Many of them queued up to get books signed by long-form storytellers.
I don't think attention spans are shrinking. People were saying this throughout the early years of this century, but at the same time, the best-selling book was Harry Potter, which was 800 pages. People are prepared to read long books and are even prepared to read difficult books if they're thrilling, engaging, well-written. I don't see why people see this as competition. People are here. We've had 500,000 people this year. It's been spectacular. And what's wonderful is that they're young. I think half of them are under 18. Most of them are under 25. And we've had the hands up in their thousands, questions being asked. We've sold hundreds of thousands of books. People that think that Netflix is more exciting than Literary Festival haven't been to the Jaipur Literary Festival.
Well, I don't know if they do have reducing attention spans. I think things aren't just very interesting to them. I still have to trust the reader. I write very long and demanding books, and I have to trust that the reader is going to meet the book halfway. Dickens is the one who said, make them laugh, make them cry, make them wait. And I'm still a big believer in those 3 things. So in a lot of ways, I am kind of almost a classicist when it comes to novel writing, that I believe in plot, and I believe in suspense, and I believe in giving the reader a reason to turn the page. I was 6 years old when there was an attempt on Bob Marley's life. I was 6. It didn't become a novel until several decades later, when I read a story about the people who tried to kill him and how we don't really know what happened to a lot of them. And the great thing about fiction can fill in blanks that history can't fill in. So I went out to fill the blanks.
If I'm not mistaken, Lee Child, who said a thriller is a story where you ask a question at the beginning and answer it by the end. And that's actually a very simple definition, but it's really, honestly, very true. And along the way, when you're answering that question and trying to bring a satisfying conclusion, you throw up many more questions in the reader's mind. What if this? What if? So you have a bunch of red herrings along the way. So in other words, you have to give enough incentive in terms of unanswered questions for the plot to go on.
How did these literary superstars evolve, particularly when humanity was paralyzed by the pandemic?
I think the pandemic has opened us up to the idea that not every story needs the same sort of approach. So, for example, when I was writing The Magicians of Mazda, it was bang in the heart of the pandemic. And I suddenly found that I had to depend on multiple sources to be able to fit in the Iran pieces without going there.
I think one shouldn't try to be something. One should just engage as much as you can with the world, read as much as you can, travel, meet people of different cultures. You naturally end up evolving. Engage with as many people as you can. That will help you evolve, it will help you grow. Then that will obviously reflect in your writing as well.
Pandemic has been an entire gear shift, and it's caused a great deal of resentment between the fiction and non-fiction world, where the non-fiction writers just couldn't get to any sources, and the fiction writers were happily in their own mental landscape making merry. So I had a long list of documents and places I needed to go, and I was completely thwarted for 2 years. And when we came out, I had managed to, slim down my 2 pages of wish list places to the places I needed to go to first, which is 5 or 6. And I thought, actually, there's a reason for that, because these are the building blocks of my stories.
You can tell stories through books, through ebooks, through audiobooks. You can tell stories through novellas, through illustrated comics. You can tell those stories through movies, web series, television series. You can tell them through a Twitter thread. Stories can be told in a multiple variety of formats, and we need to be open to the idea of that story being told in multiple formats.
And the same is true of literary festivals. If you have the great authors of the day who are spectacular at putting across their views, you will get the crowds. It really won't be a problem. During the pandemic, we had Brave New World, and it's millions of viewers in China and Uzbekistan, mainly in India, followed by Britain, United States. But yeah, people were hungry for this, hungry for content. So I think it's an entirely false idea that literary festivals or books are under threat from Netflix or from low attention spans. If you engage with people, if you tell stories well, if you make history interesting, if you make your novels thrilling, if you write beautifully, you will get an audience.
Thanks to the storytelling skills of these wordsmiths, a new generation of readers is discovering the magic of the written word. It is giving the publishing industry hope that a well-told story will have as much resonance